I mean, today, some days are like that. I just kind of want to get these videos out there. And with the way time flies, and before you know it, we're at the end of the week. I just kind of, when I get the time and I'm focusing on these videos, I just get them out. So missing persons database that I'm using is called Missing People in America. So if you type in Missing People in America, you will just get thousands and thousands of missing people. If you type in Missing People in America / Vermont, you get just Vermont. So it's a couple of ones I want to focus on for 2025, 20 and 2024. Now these are not put in order of date. So if I miss somebody and you want us to go over somebody, please let me know. So there's not many on this database. This first page shows about 15, and then there's a few I want to talk about. So this first one, let me turn this down, sorry guys. The first one missing most recently, March 14th on this database, 2025, is Joseph Gagnon, Gagnon. So it might be pronounced Gagnon like that. And the age is 52 years old. And I'm going to show you the flyer. And just tell you his height. His height is 5'6", and he's 140 pounds. So this is a small man. And I don't mean it like that in any type of disrespect. 5'6" is not 6 feet, okay? You know what I mean? He's 5'6". So it says, so this is his picture. Let's look at his picture first, guys. Now, this is the one I want to discuss a tiny little bit about and see if it's possible to find anything else on him. Because listen to this. On March 14th, 2025. So guess what? Today's March 11th. So this is just about 1 year ago. In a few days, it will be 1 year. Joseph Gagnon was involved in a single vehicle accident on Route 127 in Burlington. It's a very popular route. People know that route in Burlington. It's a main route. After the crash, he fled the scene on foot, leaving his phone and his wallet behind. He has not been seen since, and searches have been conducted in the surrounding areas, including the Winooski River, which is very close by right there, Ethan Allen Homestead, and the Intervale. So the Intervale is an area of Burlington. It's just called the Intervale. It's near the water in Burlington. His family is deeply concerned on this behavior. It is uncharacteristic, and he has a history of back problems. So the reason I want to discuss this, firstly, when you are in a car crash and you hit your head, you get concussion, and they're not discussing any of this. You can get a concussion and completely forget who you are. If there's another person that you come upon to take advantage of that, I mean, it could happen. You could just not, if you're not trying to jar your memory, or there's nothing there to jar your memory, or you're not getting medical care, you could not have your memory for quite some time, if ever. I'm very concerned about this situation because 127 is not remote in Burlington. It's just not a remote area. So let's see, Joseph Gagnon, let's see if we can find anything else on him on information. Um, Investigation opened into missing persons case. So still, this is March 24th, 2025. Let's read it and see if we can find anything out. This is NBC 5, Channel 5. So it says, here's another picture of him, guys. So this is him, another picture. Oops. Okay, so he's been missing since last March 14th. His car was found near 127, assigned to Detective Services Bureau. I'm just going to say, I can't even understand why they can't find this guy. 127? Can I just say, Burlington, right there, the areas they're talking about, is the police station. Right there, guys, as big as life. It's just minutes. It's just like minutes from where he apparently has gone missing. An investigation is ongoing. This was last March 2024. Police said Joseph Gagnon's vehicle was found just before 8 p.m. on a Friday night, March 14th, 2025, following a crash in Burlington Beltline, formerly known as Route 127. Officials say that he fled the scene on foot. So he was probably afraid, or he had a concussion, or both. And the case has been assigned to Detective Services Bureau to allow for more thorough investigation. Meanwhile, the emergency response unit has been utilizing drones to search the surrounding woods. You know, in that area, okay, yes, there are woods, but they're sparse. Like, and in March, right now, there's no leaves on the trees in Vermont. He went missing, no leaves on the trees. Like they could, and can I just say, in the woods in Vermont in March, there's still snow. Like a good amount. Right now it's melted out here in the sidewalk and parking lots and businesses. In the mountains, in the woods, there's still snow. Like I could look right outside here, go walk down the street a little bit and look into the woods, and there's still snow. It's just the way it is. So for them to say they're looking in the woods, he's not going to get far, and they would see him very quickly, especially with drones, in my opinion. Gagnon is described as 5'6" and weighs about 140 pounds. He was last seen wearing a gray-black checkered coat, a camouflage hat, blue jeans, and work boots. So a checkered coat and a camouflage hat, that's going to stand out, guys, pretty good. Because that's, it's just a unique. Okay, so, and that's all they have right there on him. Hold on, let's see. Now that was right around the time when he went missing. Let's see if there's been any updates on Joseph Gagnon. Let's see. The disappearance of Joseph Gagnon. Disappearedblog.com. Why did he crash his car, guys? Think about it. I mean, why? What happened that he crashed that car? Was someone following him? Was he in some kind of a trouble? Did he crash the car and maybe he didn't walk away. Maybe he didn't run away. Maybe something else sinister occurred. Um, did they check all the cameras to see if he actually did run? And where was he running to? There's cameras all over the place down in Burlington. Um, MyChamplainValley.com, man who fled Burlington crash reported missing by family. Again, that's in 2025. All of these articles, I'm looking for an update. He left his phone and his wallet. So he either had something like, he was injured, or he was afraid. Okay, let's see here. So I'm going to read this article by ChamplainValley.com and see if they can give us any more information. No, they say the same thing, roughly 7:44 on Route 127 in Burlington. He left the vehicle, he left the scene. They don't give us any detail on how severely the crash was. And family members later contacted the authorities on him. So this is all they've got. I would think that they'd have an update on this if there was an investigation. Where's the update on the investigation? I don't see any. Nothing. So I wonder why that is. That's very interesting and kind of heartbreaking, actually, guys. Let's see. Facebook has something. Okay, so he's 52, or he was, I don't know if he's 52 now or he was 52, so it would make him 53. And again, it goes over the same paragraph. And they said they're deeply concerned. This is uncharacteristic for him, and he has back problems. Where is this man? Where is Joseph Gagnon? Seriously, guys. I mean, Burlington area. So I'm going to show you his picture one more time. And he's not a tall man. He's 5'6". And 140 pounds for a male is not heavy. That's small framed. I'm guessing that's what he looks like. So his family is very concerned. And I see no update on him at all. So I am going to try to get a list of people on this missing persons in Vermont, get their names, and I want to know who to talk to find out what the latest information is in their investigation on these missing people in Vermont. Okay, so with that said, let's look at the next person. Just something to consider, guys. 2024, North Burlington, Vermont. This is a 37-year-old man, Christopher Harper. Okay, this is what Christopher looks like. It does. His height is 5'8". 5'8". It doesn't give a weight. Chris has not been in contact with family or friends, and has been missing since November 15th. He was last seen near North Street. In other words, very busy street, guys. North Street, very busy. They've got cameras up there for sure. In North Burlington, Vermont, wearing dark cargo pants and a winter coat. He was carrying a backpack, a walking stick, and a longboard. Um, okay, Christopher Harper. Let's see if we get any update on his investigation. That's not normal. You know, when people are kind of a staple in their town or city or Burlington is not a big city, guys. It's not. It's so small that you know, when if you, let's say you move to Burlington and you decide you like the bakery on Pine Street or whatever, St. Catherine or one of these streets, you're going to get known and noticed very quickly. People are going to know you. They're going to notice you very quickly. That you're, maybe you start going in there regularly. People will know you. That's how small it is. It's not like New York City where you're going to go into. You'd have to go in there for a couple of years before you get really noticed. Okay, so 37-year-old Christopher Harper has been missing from Burlington, Vermont since November 15th, 2024, prompting an ongoing investigation with the Burlington Police Department. Extensive searches of his digital, financial, and social media records. There have been no solid leads. A $5,000, people just don't go missing off the face of the earth, guys. Something happened. A $5,000 reward is being offered. They're looking into his financials. They'd be able to track him that way. They're not getting any solid leads. Description: he's known to wear layered clothing, hats, and was likely carrying a backpack and a walking stick in his long board. His background: he's a graduate of Johnson State College, that is here in Johnson, Vermont, now Northern Vermont University, with a degree in alternative medicine. He has deep ties to the Burlington and Jefferson areas. Investigation: police have conducted numerous interviews and analyzed his phone and financial records without success. That means something sinister or medical happened to him. They're not finding any traces of him. Information: anyone with information, please contact. So I would just put an alert like this out to people who are on the hiking trail, because he had a degree in medicine, alternative medicine, so he probably was the type for sure that went out to study different plants, wild plants and whatnot. Who knows? It could have been, anything could have happened to him. Maybe he went out and he was trying an alternative plant. He was trying to eat it or something, and he got very ill. And so if you're a hiker or you're out there in nature, always keep your eyes peeled for any evidence of people who may have gone missing. Because in Vermont, the woods and the rivers and everything are so vast. And even though there's a cluster of the little towns here that are right by the river, right by the woods, all of these are extended and go for miles and miles and miles. So always keep your eyes open, guys. And if you see something, definitely report it. Now, this person is from 1979. You know, I thought they had an update on her. But this is Celinda Weingar, 1979. I'm just going to hold up the picture, and then we're going to go right to the person of 2025, because I want to do the ones most recent in the last year. But this is Celinda Weingar. If you are out there and watching right here, she went missing way back in 1979. If any of you old timers have any information on it, give a call. And I say old timer, that's how I reference myself too. So the next person missing recently and I remember them, this going out, is in Shelburne, Vermont in April. So this is also 1 year anniversary coming up that this man, I mean, we'll look up, let's see if there's an update on him, but his name is Ronald Van Minen, Minen, 87, 87 years old, guys. There he is. He wears glasses. Let's see if there's any update. I would assume if there's an update that they take them off this list right away. But let's just see. Ronald Van Minen, Mynen. Oh, he's still on the list. They did find him. This is why I like going through this. They found him unalive. This particular case presented obstacles because the victim did not have a sort of tracking device. He did not have his phone with him, and the only destination we were aware of was the dry cleaners, which was a short drive from here, and that's what the Shelburne police said. I say this, when someone is 87 years old or they're elderly, you know, up near 80 is pretty pivotal. 80 is a pivotal age. You're not going to get far on foot. You're just not. You should be found very quickly, as a matter of fact, even if you're quick, because you're going to get tired and you're going to sit down. You just are. Now, they said he had no tracking device on him. It sounds like we're depending on the phones to be our tracking device. But look, the gentleman we were looking at earlier here, Joseph, he left his phone and his wallet, which meant there was something wrong. He was probably injured from the crash. So where is Joseph? You know what I mean? So this guy, Ronald, was found unalive, but he is still listed on the missing persons. And he was found in Shelburne, and he's from Shelburne. So he was found near home. So I want to say this also. When you're elderly, I think it is smart to have a med alert on you. And if you have if your loved one has some kind of a dementia, there's many different kinds, but some kind maybe, and they are, I want to just say, a flight risk, you know what I mean, like, because there are I worked in this field. I know there are clients who will, you know, that they'll be trying to go out the door, and so for their safety, between you and the doctor, maybe there is something that they can wear, where they can be found quickly. So now this next one is recent also. This is Paul Letier, Duxbury, Vermont. He's only 66 years old, guys. So Paul was last seen at his residence with his wife at 1:30 p.m. October 29th, 2019. Okay, 7 years ago. Still, it seems recent as opposed to, like, 1999, right? So when she left, when the wife returned home at 3:30 p.m., she said he wasn't there. His personal items such as his wedding band, financials, and forms, IDs, were left behind. Well, what does that tell you? Paul is missing. He's missing part of his right pinky finger. Guys, it sounds to me, in this particular case, you tell me, that he purposely left his wedding ring. Look, here he is. Some people want to go missing, but let's see if they found anything any update on Paul Letier. Update on Paul. Oh, let me spell that again. Sorry, guys. It's a very frightening thing when people disappear, go missing. Paul Luthier, oh, look, I am so glad that I'm looking up updates because he is also listed on missing persons. And guess what? They did find him unalive. Uh, more than 5 years. Oh, so it's just recently. More than 5 years after his disappearance in 2019. They found him unalive. He was last seen at his home on Scrabble Hill Road, leaving behind all personal items, including his wallet, phone, and ID. Searches have yielded no results. Oh. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I thought they said those were his remains. I'm sorry. Paul Luthier remains missing from Duxbury, Vermont. Okay, sorry about that. So that was a mistake. He was not found. He is still missing. His physical is he's 66 years old, 5'10", 190 pounds. He has no hair. He has brown eyes. Distinguishing feature is he's missing his right pinky finger or part of it. He was last seen wearing a brown flannel shirt, possibly blue jeans, and a brown hiking boots. And he went missing in October. Guys, do you know how cold it is in October? I mean, I really hope they're investigating this case because you do not leave the house in October, especially when in the next few days it's going to be November, without a coat. I'm just saying. They're saying he was wearing a brown flannel shirt. Something's not right here. Possibly blue jeans and brown hiking boots. I hope they're investigating um, everything and everyone. I get a funny feeling when I read this because we don't have the detail. You know, did they question the neighbors? Did they question the family? Did they do a search warrant and search the house? You know, search the premises, search around, that type of deal. Because we see with the high profile cases, they're definitely doing that. So I'm really, really, really hoping that that was done here. It doesn't say that that was done. And, you know, just to say you never know, because the wife said she left. Well, maybe something occurred when she left. You don't know, right? So anyway, he is still missing. So there's just a few more, I believe, on this database that are recent. Plainfield, Vermont. This one, okay, this is kind of recent. Plainfield, Vermont, Crystal Bailey, 2017. 37 years old, height 5'4", weight 200. Now, mind you, when people are missing a while, like this is 2017, and we're in 2026, and people are missing that long, the weight may not be the same. They may be less. So this says she was 200 pounds. Crystal was a passenger in a vehicle that crashed. The driver was DUI, and both females jumped into a raging river to avoid detection. The driver was able to climb out of the water, and Crystal has not been seen since. Her purse was located downstream. Oh my. Okay. Let's look at an update for Crystal Bailey. I'll show you her picture here too. Let me show you her picture, guys. That's super sad. They didn't want to, they were probably afraid of the consequences, but better serve the consequence and be safe and kind of go through it and learn from it. But um, it doesn't say what river. They said raging river. So you guys know in Vermont we have gorges. These things are, and the rivers, when they say raging river, they're talking about rocks. They're talking about whirlpools. They're talking about seriously dangerous areas, guys. Um, I can't, it's hard to believe they didn't find her. Um, so let's see here. You know, whether alive or unalive. Now, this says on Facebook that she's 29 years old. Vermont State Police. Let's look at this update from them. This is February 25th, but it doesn't say that the year that this update was put here. February 25th. Where's the year? Okay. Today marks the anniversary, so it must have been 2018. They did an update saying on February 25th, 2017, Crystal Bailey was seen walking from a single vehicle car crash on Brook Road in Plainfield. The driver was located along the bank of the brook. So it was a brook, not a river. It was a brook. There's a really big difference there, guys. The brooks are shallow, and it's believed that Bailey may have gone into the brook. So extensive searches in the area were unable to locate her. So Plainfield, again, Plainfield is a small community. Here's another picture of her, guys. I would say, for the sake of the family and everybody concerned and looking for her, to, if you know something, or if even Crystal herself is still out there, to just come forward. You know, maybe she hit her head and got a concussion too. I'm just saying, people get very frightened. When you are in a car crash, guys, you can come out very shocky, and it can last a very, very, very long time, guys. So, that is a Crystal Bailey, and that's from 2017. Brianna Maitland, she's been missing since 2004. There have been many updates and investigation on her. 2004, there's Brianna Maitland. Very well known missing persons case here. And we'll review that again at some point too. That is reviewed periodically. Her parents are still looking for her. God bless their souls. Marble Arvidson at Brattleboro, Vermont. We saw this one before too, 2011. Marble. He was last seen at his home in Marlborough Road, Road in Brattleboro. And one of his housemates heard him answer the door and invite an unknown man inside. He apparently left the house afterwards, leaving a note saying he was going out for a walk. So he didn't tell anybody really where he was going, and he would be back shortly. He was supposed to meet his girlfriend at 4 p.m. So something sinister or something unusual happened. And this is Marble in Brattleboro, which is near Massachusetts. Very, very close to Massachusetts. Let's see if there's any update on, now Marlboro is 6'2" and 165. So he's probably very thin. He's 30 years old. Marble let's see if we can get an update on the investigation. Arvidson. And loved ones are still waiting for some kind of answers. He's been missing for 14 years now, WCAX. In 2025, let's see what they said. So he was a teenager then. This is another, oops, they got all kinds of pop-ups here, obscuring. So he's 30 now, but that's what he looked like 14 years ago. And he's 6'2". His family misses him, guys. Arvidson was an avid hiker, so police believe he could have been a victim of Tropical Storm Irene, which was bearing down on the region. On the anniversary of all missing person cases. Okay, that's the update. That's it. Hold on here. Party to ensure that those cases remain visible to the public. Partly to ensure that those cases remain visible to the public, there's a continued public awareness about it. So to bring home a measure of acknowledgement to individual families. Okay, so if any of you remember Tropical Storm Irene in Vermont, it took out the road I was in at the time. It took it out. It took out the dirt road, just right smack in the middle of it, and it took it out in parts. You're talking a teeny tiny little brook that turned into a raging, looked like river. It was phenomenal, guys. Totally phenomenal. The road just went away. People who had a pathway to their houses suddenly were cliffs. There were cliffs. But what bothers me about this is he said he was going for a walk and he was going to meet his girlfriend at 4 o'clock. If he was going for a walk, so let me put it this way. When Tropical Storm Irene started, it was a torrential downpour for days. It was a torrential downpour well before the roads and the rivers started to rise. There was plenty of time, is what I'm saying. If he went out for a walk, and we don't have all the details, but if he went out for a walk, there was plenty of time. This is by WCAX too, by the way. They're saying that, this is what they're saying, that he went missing on the eve of Tropical Storm Irene 14 years ago. But in what we just read on the missing person database is that he apparently left the house sometime afterwards, leaving a note saying he was going out for a walk and would be back shortly. So that's not a hike. That's not an overnight. That's not, I'll see you tomorrow. That's, I'll be back shortly. When Irene started, it started with torrential downpours. He would have had plenty of time to get back, for sure, before any of the rivers rose, because that was happening into the next day, overnight into the next day. So they're saying he went missing on the eve. So that to me, that update to me doesn't sound like that's something that happened. To me, more what sounds, I'm just putting logic together. He was talking to someone that no one else in the house knew. He leaves the house shortly after, maybe to meet that person. They're near Brattleboro, Vermont is very close to Massachusetts. If no one else knew this person, then it wasn't a family member friend. it was something else, and it could have led to being the reason he's missing. So please, please keep your eyes out for this young man. He's now 30 years old. Or any evidence of him if you're out hiking. Okay. So with that, let me see here. There was one more page, and not many recent. There's like a page 2. This is 1978, and we got the updates there. Okay, so the most recent one on page 2 is Corey Crooker. Went missing over a year ago now, January 14th, 2025, guys, only 43 years old. Family members saw him on January 9th, and the last known communication with him was on the evening of Tuesday, January 14th. He does not have a fixed address, but he is known to be in Bradford, Vermont a lot. Newberry and Wells River area, as well as Haverhill, New Hampshire. So, okay, he traveled. It doesn't sound like he didn't have an address. He may stay with people. He may be wearing a black Columbia jacket. He was six feet and 190, so he was a slender 6-footer. Corey Crooker. This is what he looks like, guys. And I'm gonna see if there's an update on him. And then there's one more. These are our Vermont persons missing, guys, if you're scrolling. You know what's bothering me about this? I'm putting in missing person investigations, and I'm getting absolutely no updates, nothing. Nothing. No conference, updates, nothing. That bothers me. There's not that many that they're listing here in Vermont. So why are there not at least fresh within the last year of these people gone missing, something of an update 3 to 6 months to the public on this person? Okay, let's see. Corey Crooker. Okay, let's look at this, guys. I don't know if it's the same person. Oh, it is. WCAX, suspect confessed to unaliving missing Vermont man. Here she is. Lisa Aki. Let's read it. This is why we have to keep asking the questions, guys. This is WCAX, published May 15th, 2025. So, but he is still on the missing. I'm glad I did an update search here. Court paperwork has provided new insight into an investigation in the apparent unaliving of a Bradford man. This is about the case of Corey Crooker, 43 years old, who was reported missing in January. The feds say, it's WCAX. Why didn't we see a conference video update from them to us? Yeah, I don't understand that. So the feds say James Nichols Jr. was arrested. James Nichols Jr., who was arrested on federal gun charges, admitted to unaliving Crooker, who he said was looking for drugs. Investigators say Nichols told Vermont State Police he unalived Crooker after he tried to break into Nichols' home following an argument. Instead of calling 911, the feds say Nichols moved Crooker, who was unalive, into a This is so horrible. I can't even read the rest of it, guys. I'm sorry. It's basically not good. Um, and Nichols has not. Oh, Nichols has not been charged in state or federal court with unaliving Crooker, but police say Nichols and his girlfriend Lisa Aki talked about the alleged unaliving. Here she is again. So she's got information. This is in 2025. So Thursday afternoon, this is in at this time in the article, Aki, 41 years old, pleaded not guilty to multiple charges, including accessory after the fact. We're still investigating why Nichols isn't charged with the murder. And despite his confession, I wonder where his picture is. They've got hers, but not his. But despite the confession to the police, we're still awaiting official confirmation that the human remains found at his home were, in fact, belonged to Corey Crooker. Well, interesting chain of events. So that's what happened to this young man. Corey Crooker, guys, is thought to be unalive via confession of this guy Nichols. I guess they're not sure of all of that. But maybe that's why he's still on this list. I don't know. And then the most recent and last one on the list for recent missing persons is 2024 is Isaac Crawford in Bellows Falls, Vermont. So Isaac is only 25 years old. He's 5'9" and 160 pounds. This is Isaac. And Isaac is a drifter. In other words, they're saying that he moves from place to place. He accepts rides from people, and he travels from state to state. The last communication with him was early October 2024. So while it's common for Isaac to go for long periods of time without talking to people, who usually contacts his mom on his birthday. And that did not happen this year, so she is concerned. Let's see what the update investigation is on Isaac Crawford. Oh, this is interesting, guys. So he went missing. Oh no, this is way back. This is 2022. Isaac Crawford comes up at 22 years old in 2022. That he broke into someone's house in Bristol, Vermont. Okay, so that was before he went missing. So let's see if we can find out, again, an update on him. One year ago, on Facebook, guys, Isaac it's the same verbiage we just read. Bellows Falls, Vermont, so that's southern Vermont, guys. 2024, October, he went missing, 25 years old, 5'9", 160 pounds, so an average hefty kind of a guy. Only people with official missing persons with police departments are posted. You can view their database and view information. Yeah, we're not getting any other information. Database entry, let's see here, on Isaac Crawford. No other information on him. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Not even an update on the investigation. So I don't understand that. Let me just put this in. This is our last one. I just want to see. Um, no, just in 2022 that he was charged with home invasion. And then he goes missing in 2024. Facebook update. Isaac has been found and is, well, let's check this out, guys. There he is. Isaac has been found and is safe. Check it out. Pictures of Isaac Crawford. That's December 19th, 2024. He went missing in October 2024. So, yeah, here he is. This is the picture of him in the red shirt, see? And then there's pictures updated. Okay, so his tattoos are all self-done. Okay, that was the they found him. It doesn't give any other explanation. That's all it says on Facebook, is that he's been found. So congratulations. I'm happy for Isaac. I'm happy for his family, that he has been found, and I pray that he stays safe for the rest of his life. And because when you think you've lost a loved one, it not only turns your life upside down, it's traumatizing, and it leaves you like that pretty much for the rest of your life. So with that, if you see any of these people, if you know anything, call your local authorities. And if you don't think they're listening, if there hasn't been an update, go to the newspaper. You know what I mean? Or reach out to somebody like Nancy Grace. I really do respect her. I like the way she stays serious and focused about the cases she's talking about, and she stays realistic. So anyway, that's my little contribution to help out. We found out that with one of these people, with Ronald Van Minion, he was actually found unalive. We found out with the others, these are the most recent missing persons. I didn't go through all of them because some of them are so far back. We'll do those as cold cases on the next video. But we found out with Joseph Gagnon, that's just, some of these really mystify me because where the vicinity Intervale and just Route 127 in Burlington, I mean, somebody had to have seen something or know him. So hopefully they find Joseph Gagnon and all of them actually, but we did find out that Ronald Van Minion was found near his home in Shelburne, 87 years old and unalive. So, but he's still on here a year later, but so he should be taken off of here. Anyway, with that, everyone, I hope you have a beautiful day. I wish you love and light. We're going to be visiting a cemetery pretty soon, guys. It's a new one. I haven't shown it on here, but we have a few places we're going to be visiting outside in Vermont. So with that, I hope you have an absolutely beautiful day. Love and light.